Hey guys, I cannot stress enough how important today's lesson really is. Um, just like yesterday's lesson, it was really important because you're going to be dealing with it a lot on tests and like the standardized tests that you're going to take. Today's lesson is really important. You're going to have to look at graphs and tell what's going on. And so that's what today's lesson is all about. So we're going to be looking at graphs. It looks a lot scarier than it actually is. Um, it's going to be easier to understand once we go over it. So when we graph a relation, so the value of the variable in a relation that is subject to a choice is called the independent variables. So essentially, independent variables mean that's what I'm plugging in, and I get a value back. So it's my input, independent variables. Now, the dependent variables are the ones that depend on the independent variable. So they depend on the value of the independent variable, and they're called the dependent variables. So that's usually our y's, and our independent variables, like I said yesterday, is usually our x's. These relations can be graphed without a scale on either axis and interpreted by analyzing the shape. So we're analyzing the graph. So let's look at example 1 together. Example 1, the graph below represents the height of a football after it is kicked downfield. Identify the independent and dependent variable for the relation. Then describe what happens in the graph. So when you think of a football, all right, if you watch football on the kickoff, the ball is on the ground. So if you think of it this way, height is our y-axis. So height is going up and down. If you think about it, it's 0 on the x-axis, right? That's where the ball starts off. So you kick the ball here at time equals 0, right? And the ball's going up, 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 up. It hits its highest point, and then there comes a point where everything that's going up, there comes a point where all of a sudden it starts coming down. So that's what's going on. It's going up, 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 and then it's hitting this point right here where it's going to say, oh, it's going down, 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 down. And that's because gravity. So the height of the ball is our y-axis, and time is just going straight through, right? 0, maybe it's 2 seconds that it's in the air for, 3 seconds. If you ever watch football, they sometimes have a hang time clock, and it counts how long the ball is in the air for, which is pretty cool. And this is a lot to do with like physics. But so what's happening is the ball starts at 0 height, gets kicked, it's going up in the air, and then it's coming down. So which of these is dependent and independent? So the independent variable is time. Time is going to keep going no matter what the ball is doing. Time is going to keep going. If you notice, the ball hits the ground here, but time just keeps on going. The ball just stays. So time is independent in this situation. The dependent variable is height. The dependent variable is height. How high it is depends on how long it's been in the air. The shorter time is probably going to be higher, but the longer it's going to be lower. So the football starts on the ground when it is kicked. It gains altitude, which is height, until it reaches a maximum point, and this is right here called the maximum point, and then it goes down. It loses height until it falls to the ground. So that's what's going on there. Example 2. The graph below represents the price of stock over time. Identify the independent variable and dependent variable for the relation. Then describe what happens. So again, time is our horizontal, and that's known as our x. And price is our vertical, and that's known as our y. And what's happening is it's going up, So the graph, if we're analyzing the graph itself, it's going up for a time, and then it has a sharp drop, and then it goes up again, and then it starts to drop again. So if we look at this, time, remember, time keeps going. Time doesn't stop. Time stops for no one, as a lot of people say. So what's going on is, as the time goes on, the price is fluctuating. The time is not. Time is consistent. So time is our independent variable, whereas our price is our dependent variable. So our price depends on the time. And so what it's saying is the price increases steadily, then it falls, then increases, then falls again. So it's increasing, falls, increasing, falls. And that's what that's saying. So that's how you're interpreting it. So your work today, you're going to have 3 graphs, and you just have to decide which is the dependent and independent variable. So I'll talk you through number 1. The graph represents the speed of a car as it travels to the grocery store. Well, think about it. When you're driving your car to anywhere, you get in your car, the speed is 0, and you're just getting in, so the car is stationary. But then you're driving down the road, and you have to do what we call it accelerate. You're speeding up until you get to the speed limit. So this car is speeding up until it gets to the speed limit, and once it got at the speed limit, it went at that level for a while, and then they pull up to where they're going, you decelerate, and you stop. So that's what's going on. So our independent variable is time, and our dependent is speed. And you can look at your bank account, an account balance. The graph represents the balance of a savings account over time. Time keeps going. Your bank account is rising. It's staying steady, rising again, and then it has a sharp drop. The height of a baseball. Baseball is hit. If you notice, the baseball is not starting out at 0 here. It's really starting out at the height of the baseball player. Because you swing that bat, you hit that ball. It's not on the ground. It's actually up a little bit higher. And then it's hitting up, up, up. The ball is hit here, and it's going up, 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 up. And then all of a sudden, it's going to reach its max point here, and it goes down, down, down until it reaches the ground. So again, time is our independent variable and height is our dependent. So you guys got to fill this in. I pretty much just gave you the answers, but you still got to put it in your own words. All right, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Have a good day.